So one of the things the other side is really big on is self-love. And they often make me beat it into people's heads in readings. We put up with more than we should. We take more punches than we should. Life is hard. And oftentimes, the love that you get, you need to provide for yourself in this world. So they asked me to make this video explaining to you how you can show yourself love within the confines of a romantic relationship. I already made a previous video called The Importance of Self-Love. This is a follow-up to that, letting you know how you can show yourself love within a romantic relationship, marriage, family, kids, what have you. The self-love needs to continue. That energetic flow needs to be maintained. So that is why they asked me to make these points. Number one, make waves. Why? Because you're worth it. If your loved one is sitting on the couch watching TV and you're fuming mad at them, don't keep it to yourself. Open that throat chakra and express your truth. Communicate. Be true to yourself. Be true to them. Be authentic. Be honest with them. Don't be afraid to make waves and don't be afraid to cause drama because you are worth it. Your romantic partner isn't a mind reader. They deserve to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So make sure you are true to yourself and you are expressing those emotions. Otherwise, they stay in your stomach, in your sacral chakra, your emotion center, and they just eat you up from within. So don't be afraid to make waves within the relationship. Your partner will actually appreciate you being true to yourself because they know where they stand with you. So they'll view you as being more authentic and honest and open with them. So they'll appreciate your communication. But that is a form of self-love, knowing you are worth it, knowing that you are worth making a ruckus over. Okay? So number one. Number two, don't be afraid to ask for what you want and need. This is really, really important because we are here to grow as souls. Just because you are married doesn't mean you stop growing and evolving. You are still walking two different paths. You are on your personal journey of soul's growth and your partner is on their personal journey of soul's growth. And you are there to support and encourage one another on that path. So don't be afraid to approach your romantic partner and say, I want to take tennis lessons. Can you support me in doing that? Can you be that positive encouragement to support me in learning how to play tennis? Will you watch the kids while I go take that tennis lesson once or twice a week? Hey, I want to learn how to swim. Hey, I want to take an intuitive development course. Will you help me in doing that? Will you do it with me? Maybe it's something you can do together as a couple. But make sure you're asking for what you want and what you need within the relationship. If your partner can support you in something that you want to do, that's really important. Hobbies are frivolous in a very good way. The other side is constantly encouraging you to have hobbies. Why? Because you make friends. Suppose you want to take an improv class or a stand-up comedy class or an acting class, an art class, whatever. The friends you make in that class are going to be fun. Why? Because everyone's walls down. There's no networking going on. No one's trying to sell anything to anybody. They're not working together in business. It is something completely fun, completely frivolous, and you're coming together as these strangers with a common goal of bettering yourself. Maybe you're taking a cooking class together and you're bonding with the other students in the class because you don't really know what you're doing. So you see how hobbies just get that energy out. And again, participating in these hobbies and these classes and whatever you want to foster and grow within yourself, that's self-love. Those hobbies are a way to show yourself love, okay? So again, with those hobbies, don't be afraid to pursue them and ask your partner for what you want and need in the pursuit of those hobbies because you deserve it. So speak up for yourself. Number three, along the same lines of being true to yourself, this is really important. A lot of us are very understanding and very empathetic. So it's easy for us to put ourselves in our loved one's shoes and see things from their perspective. That's a gift. That's a blessing. That's a virtue of your soul. But what happens when you take that understanding too far and you're constantly putting yourself in your partner's shoes and you're constantly seeing the relationship from their point of view? What happens? You lose yourself. You lose your own thoughts, ideas, opinions, feelings, perspective. You lose your perspective when you're too understanding. So what the other side is asking you to do is to stay in your shoes and maintain your own perspective on the relationship, on life, on things in general. So again, empathy is a gift, but make sure that you are true to yourself and that you're giving your partner something to bounce off of as opposed to something to completely run over. Okay? Be that interesting person for them. Have your own thoughts and ideas and things to throw out there because they're going to appreciate you for it. This is a really big one. So make sure you're being true to yourself. And that's, again, part of maintaining your own perspective in the relationship is being true to yourself and your own feelings. If your gut is bothering you, you have to honor that. Okay? And along the same lines as honoring your feelings is they're making a point of being authentic. I mentioned this authenticity. Sorry, I have an extra I in there, whatever. Authenticity. Again, be honest in your communication. Your partner deserves to know your truth. Your emotions and your feelings are absolutes. Your emotions just are. They're an absolute. Maybe you feel a certain way about a situation that you really don't want to. Maybe you wish you didn't feel this way, but you just do. Feelings just are. They're an absolute just floating in the air. That is your own personal truth, your feelings. Honor those feelings. Address those feelings. Bring them forward because there's nothing you can really do about how you're feeling except share it and put it out in the open and know that your partner will love and respect you for doing that. Because you're there to really be there for one another and support each other and be sensitive to those feelings. So that's, again, self-love is also part of honoring what's coming out from your emotion center, your heart, your sacral chakra, what's coming from those energy centers. You have to honor those because they are important. Emotions are important. People don't share their feelings enough in relationships because of pride, ego, doubt, fear, jealousy, embarrassment, what have you. So try to make your decisions from a loving place as opposed to a fearful place. And that will definitely foster your authenticity. Okay? And also they're asking you to be conscious when you're coming from a place of ego. Because you can tell. Like, just ask yourself that question. Okay, am I not doing this because I'm coming from a place of ego? Yes. That means the communication isn't pure. So focus on pure, clean communication, which is ego and fear-free, coming from a place of heart and love. Number 5, another way you can be true to yourself is maintaining your friendships, right? You had friends before you got into this relationship. Where did they go? Hopefully they're still around. Hopefully they're still there because they were important to you before your romantic partner walked into your life. So hopefully they're still important to you. Maintain those friendships. Spend time going out with the guys. Spend time going out with the girls. Make those friendships a priority. Carve out the time for them because they're important. And again, those friendships, those outside relationships fortify your soul. It's important to you. And that's, again, really a focus on giving yourself what you need. You need people. So don't shut yourself off from that. Okay? And then another thing that's really important to the other side is that you plan ahead. And planning ahead, it takes a lot of self-discipline because you literally have to carve time out of your schedule if you have a lot on your plate. I understand, you guys. Marriage, kids, full-time jobs, responsibilities, soccer games, whatever you have to do. Planning ahead helps you make more time for fun, and it also kind of forces you to have self-discipline to really carve out certain time frames to do things. Aren't you much happier when you plan ahead? Are you taking care of yourself? Manis, pedis, facials, massages, ski trips, camping trips, wine tasting, paintballing, whatever. How are you treating yourself within the confines of this relationship? Are you doing what you love? So this is along the same lines of hobbies and taking classes and bettering the self, right? Just really self-improvement, listening to motivational speakers, what have you, furthering, the purpose of the soul and the growth of the soul, betterment of the soul. But also it has to do with just traveling. Like, do you want to travel here? Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? Speak up. Make those desires known and plan ahead to ensure that it actually happens. But again, this takes effort and self-discipline and self-love to do that. Okay? Another thing the other side is pointing out is the importance of you seeing yourself as the lovely triad. Don't forget to take the comprehensive wellness approach to your life, which is really addressing the three aspects of your being: the mind, the body, and the spirit. Read a good book, maintain healthy diet and exercise, take a meditation course, make sure that you are taking a yoga class, make sure that you are doing everything you need to do in order to take care of yourself in all these ways. If you need stolen moments just to exercise and get that heart rate up and release those endorphins, then put a treadmill in your house. Try to save up enough money to stick a treadmill somewhere in your house or your garage, next to the laundry room, wherever, so that you can have those stolen moments of what's important to you and what matters, because that's going to boost your self-esteem, and exercise is actually a form of self-love. And jogging, that's actually a form of meditation. Swimming, meditation. You can meditate while you swim. That's me time. That's self-love, right? Some people really resent going to the gym. They're like, oh, I have to go to the gym. But, it's actually a form of self-love and loving your body and valuing who you are. So don't forget, addressing these three aspects of your being is very important to marry those together. Last but not least, the other side, very, 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 very big on not feeling guilt. Shame and guilt are the lowest vibrations you can have. It actually pulls you away from the divine. So shame plays a major role in our society, which is why I'm stressing the importance of self-love, because our society does not support activities that are considered selfish. It's not considered, self-love. It's considered selfish. And what I'm telling you is this is all self-care within the confines of a relationship. And your partner should appreciate you for that. If my partner came to me with all these demands, I'd be like, cool, he's being true to himself. Here's my list. Love you, shmove you. Right? And then you both come together and figure out a way to get everything, on the plate, and so that everyone's happy. Now, aside from the fact that society doesn't necessarily support all this business, the reason that you should personally pursue this is from a selfless standpoint, because that's one of the points that I made in some of my other videos, is by being selfish, you are actually being selfless. Why? Because what happens when your soul gets what you need within this relationship, right? Suppose you're married with kids and you're giving yourself what you need and you're getting it and your partner's getting it. What's going to happen? You're going to shine your light even more brightly. So you're going to shine your light for your children to enjoy, for your family to enjoy, for your friends, for your coworkers. Everyone around you is going to be like, well, I've got it going on. He's got it going on, right? So everyone's going to benefit from you shining your light, standing tall, being healthy, sharing your gifts with the world. So you see how this is very important, where, even when you're, in a romantic relationship, you take care of yourself, your partner's taking care of you, your partner's taking care of themselves, everybody's happy. So that's why it's really, really important to be true to yourself and to rage against the machine of society not really supporting self-love. And people putting guilt on you. It's like, well, they have kids, and I heard that they just went, away for the weekend without them, and they went wine tasting. It's like, oh my God. It's like, so what? You left your kids with their grandparents. The grandparents are totally enjoying them, and they're having a great time. And it's a win-win. You go off and you have your little romantic jaunt. So you see how that works? Guilt-free. No guilt. Get rid of the conscience. Guilt and shame are the worst things possible. The worst. It will eat you up inside. No critical inner voice. There is no critical inner voice anywhere here. beat up that critical inner voice and say, get out. Okay, so that is pretty much all I wanted to share. Self-love, very, very important to the other side. So please exercise that mental self-discipline and strive for it every single day. In the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.